Okay, here we are in Blender, and what we're going to do in this video is show you how I made my absolutely fantastic super duper masks. Well, no I'm not, but I'm going to show how you can use Blender to make a start on these things. I am not 100, me and Blender are not the best of friends, the same as me and GIMP and a lot of other programs, because they just don't work the way my head works. But we'll get to that in a minute. What I just want to show here to start off with is the UV layout. Let me just start my screencast keys. That'll help us along. Now, if you haven't, I'll just show Blender 2.74, show the splash screen, so we're all on the same base, okay, because it will be important in a minute. So what we want to do is have a quick look at the UV maps. Now, as you can see here, I have got my mesh selected. For some reason I've got a little bit of red on there. I've got no idea why, but that's the way things go. So we have the mesh selected, and if you go along these tabs as a long-term Blender user, you'll know all these already. As a not best buddies with Blender, I keep having to click through, as you'll notice in my videos. So what we need is, I believe that's the data set, and in the data set you can create extra UV maps for your mesh. Now if you haven't got one, then you're going to have to make one, and you're going to have to make another one. Reason being, this is the one that your texture will sit on, and this is the one that your light map needs. So you get a nice, cleanish, Gucci light map. Now let's just go in and have a look at these. So I like using this bit to switch between different layouts. I don't like pulling windows left, right and centre, because I can never get rid of them. But anyway, so what we have here is a basic setup for the UV maps. Now if I'm trying to use the hotkeys as much as possible, so please bear with me because I'm not that great. Now as you can see here, once you actually tab in using tab into edit mode, you will see some of the faces actually show up over here in the layout. Now I'm pressing A for select all, unselect all, select all, unselect all. If you're not too sure what I'm doing, just keep an eye out on there. Now when you've done your UV map, what I suggest is having something like this one, which is a UV layout, as a lot of people call them, which is basically lots of squares with different colours and numbers in them. Now the reason for this is you can use a black and white one, but then again you don't know if you've got your faces flipped the wrong way round on the map, which could be okay, in other cases might not be. So that's why I use a numbered one. I use a coloured one because it's prettier and easier to see than a black and white one. And I could, yes, change things and actually have this lot all stacked up onto on each other, which would give that more UV space, and all over more UV space to play with. I don't want to do that because you'll see in a minute when I start painting on the mesh why I might not want to do that. Mesh painting and a 3D application, a free one. Yeah, don't get your hopes up too much. Right, that's your normal UV map part 1. This is where the drawn texture or material will be shown in Unreal Engine. So if we just switch back to default, and I'll go on to the UV map 001, that's just the default name Blender's gave it, and then pop back over to UV editing, and you can see now I've got a different UV layout because this is for the light map, and in the light map you do not want overlapping faces, and well, I say overlapping faces, another term that is used is unique face layout. That means that each face of your mesh has got its own unique position on the UV map. Now, maybe a bit further down the line, I might go back come into Blender and show how to stack the UV islands, as people call them. I suppose we've got to give it some form of name. If I deselect and let's see, press B, get the marquee select. Let's see, just want that lot. This orangey bit that's selected, that is what the people call a UV island. Okay, so if you've never heard the term before, that's what they're on about, and you could put that on top of there and that on top of there and all four on top of each other. You just got to paint the one lot and not all four separate. Now for the demonstration I want them separate. Okay, so that's why I've left it as it is. Right, let's see if we can get this to do what I want now. Now, one of the reasons why I've come back into Blender for this is I don't actually think it's an option in Max or in Maya or in XSI, all these super duper, let's say, Autodesk top professional products, because basically what I want to do here is I want to paint my mesh. I want to paint my texture that I want to use, the mask that I mentioned. I want to paint it here because with my UV layout I'm going to get seams and things, and it's not going to look pretty, and I don't know what face is what when I'm just working on this bit here. So you go, okay, how do we do that? Well, in Blender it's quite easy, he said. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a new image. I'm going to call this mask green. You'll see why in the near future when we get into GIMP. Like, oh no, he's using GIMP. No. Okay. Right. Generate that. There we go. Smashing. Here we go. Lovely. Now, in Blender, now the reason why I did say we're using 2.47, because there's a few different layouts that has been moving into Blender over the last few not irritations, however they call it, and versions, and it makes things a little bit difficult if you don't know where they are. So we're going to do a little bit of mesh painting. So what you need first is a image to paint on. Now I'm just going to save this. As you can see, I've done a few already. They're the ones that you saw earlier. and save the image. Now we're going to go here under the edit mode, we're going to go to texture paint. Now I suggest that you have the object selected. I suggest you have all faces selected. I'm not going to say that is required, because a lot of the times when I come in here I am just banging my head because nothing is working. Now I don't know whether it's because of me or because it's a bug or because Blender absolutely hates me, but I don't know. Alright, the first thing we want to do, we don't want to use this mask, this image that it's got there. So if you go on to canvas image, mask green, or whatever you've called yours. Now I'm trying to paint on here and nothing is happening at all, because what should be happening, should be seeing a colour there, a colour there, colour there, and it all being shown over here as well. So what have I done wrong? Well, one of the things being is I'm on fill, not Colin, but fill. So we'll go on to text draw. Now I would love, absolutely love to have different brushes here. Not too sure how to get them. If I do, I'll let you know. Now let's see. Oh yeah, because what's happened here is gone on to add an alpha. Okay, now I'm going to go on to colour, and it's not doing anything. And it's still not doing anything, which is extremely annoying. So we'll go on to, because all I want to do is put a colour in it. Now it works yesterday, and as you can see it gets brighter the more you go across. Sometimes it gets brighter and it gets brighter. And in fact, let's try and bring that down a touch. It doesn't really matter. As you can see, as I let go of my mouse here, it updates over here. Now this is one of the reasons why I was trying to use fill. And I'm like, oh yeah, fill was set on red. Sorry. But the thing is, it still sort of like takes over what was done before. So, and obviously because that's, for some reason, it's a little bit quirky. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that. If it doesn't work, change the type. You could go on to subtract and it'll act as a eraser. I was going to say rubber there because I'm a Brit and we had rubbers, but in other countries that's not what they mean. It's an eraser. Okay, so what else can we do? Well, let me see. I would really like to do colour and fill, and it's not. It doesn't like it. See, this is one of the problems with Blender. A lot of the time, I mean, I've found a lot of the time with Blender, I'll work out to do something, come back the next day, go, oh, what? I'll make a video of that. I'll make a video, we'll get halfway through, and it's not working the way it used to work. Now let's put that up onto strength, fill threshold, put that up onto 1. Let's try add. There we go. And it's gone all the way to white. Oh dear. And it's gone back to add. Let's see, colour. There we go. I don't know, you got to play with it. Right, so what we're actually trying to do here, Let's go, let's see, subtract. There we go, back to black. Now, one of the reasons why I'm going to risk this for a biscuit. No, I didn't think so. Let's see, take alpha off. No. Accumulate. No. It's quite possibly I'm doing something wrong. I mean, to me, I know it says blend mode, colour, and if it's black, I don't know, whatever. It's maybe because I don't understand the way these things work. But what I want to get at here is that if we use green, alright, I'm just going to paint it green. The reason why I'm going to use green is because I'm going to use the green channel later in GIMP. I mean, we could paint this white. Well, in fact, let's paint this white, and this will make it even more complicated for me later. Now, if you followed the original video where I was looking at the Landry master material, we could see that the green channel of this mask texture actually shows the metal. So we're going to have a look here. You're like, where do we want metal? Well, we would like it on the edges, wouldn't we? Yeah, we would. So, no, not draw colour, radius. Let's get the radius down a little bit. So, as you can see here, I'm going on the edges. Now, this is where you would like to have a grunge brush. So you can go along there instead of just a round brush like what I've got, and I can't see anything because the texture's black, but we want to sort of like go along the edge here and here, and it's not doing it very well, probably because I'm trying to record and do half a dozen things at the same time. But what I want to use this for, to show you, and white on that, yeah, okay, is, you see here we've got the island separate, and you can actually paint across what would be a separate scene. Now you see there, there's that bit there and that bit there, and that's what one of the things I want to show. Okay, so we're going to put a big X there, put a V there, put an O there, and an A there. Okay, smashing, yeah. And all you have to do is then go and save image. Now what I want to do very quickly here is the same sort of thing. I am going to create a new image. I'll call this mask underscore red. And go OK. I'm going to save image as it is. And what I'm going to do here is, let's see, back into slots, mask red. Now, what I want to do here is the red channel. Now, this is the reason why I've called it mask red. The red channel is for the grime. Okay, so where you get grime sort of like there in the edges. Yeah. It's done absolutely fantastic because it's black on black and I can't See where the edges are. Really what you should be able to do is actually paint in this bit as well. I think you used to be able to do that, but I'm not too sure why you can't now. So and the thing is, what I'm going to do here is have that bit in there, and then like in the other one, and just go down across the edge, do some bits so we can actually see where it is. Now somebody's bound to post a comment saying, well, if you actually knew how to add brushes to this bit, you know, you could do a really good job. Yeah, probably is a way, and I haven't been bothered, to be honest, to find it. So we're happy with that. We've got a bit of where we want to put the grime. And what I'll do at some stage, probably before I actually upload these videos, is make a normal map for this, but I'll probably use GIMP to do that. Yeah, bit of grime all over the place, and just save that. Save image. There we go. Next one we're going to do, you're not finished yet, Jill, is I'm going to create a new image. I'm going to call this mask blue. And this is where it gets to being fun. No. Alright, put that in the slots. Mask blue. Then we go back into the default. I have got absolutely no idea. Well, hang on. Let me just double back. UV editing. See, I forgot to save it. Save. Back in here. UV editing. No. Fill. Default. Make sure I'm on that one. Let's see. It's still set on AO mask, so let's go on to mask blue. I can see this is still going to go absolutely wrong. What I'm trying to do now is create a ambient occlusion mask, which we will put into the blue channel in GIMP. Yeah, deep joy. Right, so what do we do here? Well, one of the things I've seen recently is you go into the world settings, put a tick in the box for ambient occlusion, leave it at factor 1 and go into multiply. So instead of add, put multiply. Okay. Then we go into scene, and if you go down here to your scene may look like that, and let's go into object mode. You see, there we go. It's wrong. Cube. So why on earth? So this is one of the things that I can't get my head round in Blender, is how on earth does it pick whatever texture it wants to use, because I haven't got that one selected. And if I go back into UV edit mode, it's hello. Let's go into edit mode. Mask screen, let's go to mask blue. Go back to object mode. Go back here to default. That looks like I might have sussed it. He said. Right, okay, into scene, bake, Now normally it will be on something like full render. So go in here, pick whichever one you want. I suggest the margin will be normally set to something like 16. I put it down to 4. Leave all that as it is, and if you hit bake, you get, oh, look at that. Now you're not done. Very quickly go back into your UV edit mode, see your mask blue, this is the one it's showing. Look at the image, there's a little star there saying it's not saved. So let's go and save image. Save all images, let's invalid path. Love it. Save image. Yep. Download Blender help mask blue. Yeah, smashing. Okay, that's enough of that. Okay, so what we're going to do in the next video, we're going to go into GIMP and plonk all these things together and have a look at some of the epic, fantastic masks that I've exported, and so we can have a look at. Okay then, I'll see you very, very soon.